How to choose a property in North Cyprus with minimum risks. Northern Cyprus is an attractive destination for real estate investment due to its ideal climate, beautiful beaches and high quality of life. However, like any cross-border transaction, buying real estate here can be associated with certain risks. In this article we will look at how to minimize these risks and make the process of buying property in North Cyprus as safe as possible. The importance of choosing the right real estate and common risks. Choosing a property in North Cyprus is an important decision that requires a careful approach and a thorough understanding of the market. The right property can become not only a cozy home, but also a profitable investment that brings a stable income. However, the wrong choice can turn into serious financial losses and legal problems. The main risks when buying real estate in North Cyprus may include builder unreliability. The builder may go bankrupt or default, resulting in loss of your investment. Legal problems with real estate. Real estate may be subject to litigation or have unresolved legal issues, leading to problems with title registration. Deficiencies in documentation. Errors or deficiencies in real estate documents can lead to problems in registering title or using the property. Difficulties in registering your property title. The process of registering your property title in North Cyprus can be complicated and costly, especially if you are not familiar with the local laws. Tax liabilities. Buying real estate can entail tax liabilities that need to be considered when planning your budget. Therefore, when choosing a property in North Cyprus, it is very important to do your due diligence and consult with professionals to avoid these risks and make the right choice. Builder inspection. First and perhaps the most important step when buying a property in North Cyprus is a builder's inspection. It can help you avoid many problems related to substandard construction, construction delays and even bankruptcy of the builder. Inspecting a real estate developer involves several key steps. Investigating the reputation of the real estate developer. Do online research. Read reviews and forum discussions. Ask for opinions from local residents and real estate experts. Checking the financial health of the company. The developer must have a stable financial position to ensure that all obligations to buyers are met. Evaluation of the developer's previous projects. Visiting already built facilities will allow us to assess the quality of work, level of service and compliance with deadlines. Verifying that all necessary licenses and permits are in place. The developer must have all the necessary documents to build and sell the property. Checking the contract with the developer. It is important to carefully review the contract to make sure that all your rights are protected. Ideally, the contract should be reviewed by a lawyer. Remember that even the most reliable builder cannot guarantee the absence of all possible problems. However, a thorough inspection will significantly reduce the risks and help you make the right choice. Criteria for assessing the reliability of real estate developers. Assessing the reliability of a builder is an important step when buying a property. The table below summarizes the main criteria that should be considered. Use these criteria when choosing a developer to minimize the risks of buying property in North Cyprus. Real estate due diligence. The North Cyprus property due diligence is an essential step when buying a property and will help you avoid a lot of problems. It is a process whereby all real estate law such as title, encumbrances and other legal issues. The following points are worth looking out for when inspecting a property. Title. Make sure that the seller really owns the property and has full authority to sell it. Check all documents proving ownership. Encumbrances. Check to see if there are any encumbrances on the property, such as mortgages, liens or other third-party obligations. Legal problems. Find out if the property has any legal problems such as lawsuits, boundary disputes, or probate issues. Legal compliance. Check that the property complies with all legal requirements, including building codes and environmental and safety requirements. Planning and permits. Ensure that all changes to the property, including renovations and remodeling, have been done in compliance with all requirements and permits. The legal due diligence of real estate is a complex process that requires knowledge and experience. Therefore, it is highly recommended that you contact a professional lawyer or attorney who specializes in real estate in North Cyprus. The importance of due diligence and the attorney's role in the process. Due diligence in North Cyprus is not just a formality, but an important step that protects you from potential risks. It includes verification of title, encumbrances, and whether the property complies with all legal requirements. A lawyer plays a key role in this process. He not only checks all the documents, but also negotiates with the seller and the developer, and accompanies you at all stages of the purchase of real estate. In addition, a lawyer can help you in case of disputes or unforeseen circumstances. Here are some of the tasks that an attorney can perform. Checking the documents for real estate and land. The lawyer will make sure that all the documents are in order and you will really buy what you planned. Builder verification. The attorney can conduct an independent inspection of the builder and its previous projects. Negotiation assistance. A lawyer can negotiate on your behalf to make sure you get the most favorable terms. Accompanying the transaction. The lawyer will be present at the signing of the contract and registration of ownership to make sure that everything happens in accordance with the law. Thus, contacting an attorney can greatly simplify the real estate buying process and reduce potential risks. Inspection of the object and its documentation. The inspection of a property in North Cyprus is undoubtedly a critical stage in the buying process. It is not only an opportunity to ensure that the property meets your expectations, but also a chance to assess potential risks. When inspecting the property, it is worth paying attention to the following aspects. State of construction. Is the quality of construction as described and as expected? Check the materials used in construction and the quality of work. Infrastructure. What are the living conditions in the neighborhood? Consider accessibility to public transportation, shopping, schools, hospitals, and other important facilities. Consistency with the plan. Check whether the actual situation on site is in accordance with the plan you have submitted. Checking the documentation of the property is also a critical step. You need to make sure that all legal aspects are in order. Here are some key documents to check. Land and building documents. These documents confirm ownership and that there are no encumbrances. Check if there are any unresolved problems with the land or structure. Building and operational permit. This confirms that the structure complies with all building regulations and requirements. You must ensure that all building and operating permits are obtained in accordance with the laws of Northern Cyprus. Utility documents. Make sure all utilities, electricity, water, sewer, are connected and working properly. Remember, inspecting the property and checking documentation is your chance to avoid potential problems in the future. Don't hesitate to ask questions and request additional information. If something is not clear to you, seek professional help. Registration of ownership. Registering your property title in North Cyprus is a critical step in the property acquisition process. This process confirms your ownership and allows you to use the property as you see fit. Without title registration, you will not be able to sell the property, rent it out, or use it as collateral. Registration of ownership is not just a formality. It is your protection against possible problems and disputes in the future. It is a confirmation that you are the legal owner of the property, and no one can challenge your right of ownership. The registration process can be quite complicated and time-consuming, especially if you are not familiar with local laws. It involves submitting an application, checking documents, paying state fees, and finally receiving a certificate of title registration. It is important to note that title registration in North Cyprus can only be done after full payment of the property. This means that you will not be considered the full owner of the property until full payment has been made. It is also worth considering that the registration process can take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. It is therefore important to plan ahead and take this factor into account when planning your budget and time. Title registration is therefore an important and necessary part of the process of buying a property in North Cyprus. Although it can be a complex and time-consuming process, its importance and significance cannot be overemphasized. The process and requirements for registering a property title in North Cyprus. Required documents. Please note that this list may not be complete and requirements may vary depending on your specific situation. Therefore, it is recommended to consult a professional lawyer or a real estate agent for complete and up-to-date information. Tips for buying from private individuals. Buying property from individuals in North Cyprus can be a lucrative deal, but it also comes with certain risks. Here are some tips to help you minimize these risks. Check the seller's documents. Verify that he or she actually owns the property and is authorized to sell it. Request copies of all related documents and have them independently verified. Check out the property. Visit the property. Assess its condition, and check the documents. If possible, hire a professional real estate inspector to get a detailed report on the condition of the property. Do not pay the entire amount at once. Make a prepayment and pay the rest after the title is registered. This will protect you from fraud and ensure that the seller fulfills his obligations. Utilize the services of an attorney. He or she will help you check all the documents, handle the transaction, and make sure that all the legal aspects of the deal are handled properly. Check the tax history of the property. Make sure all taxes and fees have been paid on time and there are no debts that may pass to you after the purchase. Do your market research. Compare prices of similar properties in the area to make sure the seller's asking price is fair. Be prepared for possible additional costs. In addition to the cost of the property, consider the cost of registering the title, taxes, insurance, and possible repairs. Buying through an agency. Buying a property through an agency in North Cyprus can be safer and more convenient, especially if you are not very familiar with the local real estate market. Real estate agencies usually offer a wide range of services that can make the buying process much easier. They can help you find the right facility for your preferences and budget, conduct a site inspection and condition assessment, check the legal cleanliness of the object and its documents, negotiate with the seller and organize the transaction, process all necessary documents and registration of ownership. However, when choosing an agency, you should be careful and thoroughly check its reputation and working conditions. Do not hesitate to ask questions and demand full information about all stages of work. A good agency will always conduct business openly and transparently, respect the client's interests, and provide only quality services. The benefits and risks of buying through real estate agents. Insurance and tax aspects. Property insurance in North Cyprus is an important element in protecting your investment capital. It covers various risks such as fire, flood, earthquake damage, and other natural disasters. In addition, insurance can also cover certain legal risks such as title disputes. Some insurance companies offer policies that also cover risks associated with rental properties, which can be useful if you plan to rent out your property. The tax aspects of buying a property in North Cyprus are also important. When you buy a property, you have to pay transfer tax. In addition, you will have to pay property tax every year. The amount of these taxes depends on the value of the property and some other factors. It is important to note that tax laws can change. so it is advisable to consult a tax attorney or advisor to keep up to date with any current changes. When buying property in North Cyprus, it is important to consider the property insurance and tax liabilities. Property insurance is an additional measure to protect your investment and usually includes the following types of insurance. Insurance against fire and other natural disasters. This will allow you not to worry about possible losses in case of fire, earthquake or other unforeseen circumstances. Accident insurance. This type of insurance provides compensation in the event of property damage caused by an accident, such as a falling tree. Legal risk insurance. This can be useful in case of legal problems related to real estate. Tax obligations when buying a property in North Cyprus are also an important part of the process. The main taxes include property transfer tax. Its amount is from 3 to 6% of the property value, depending on the value of the property and its location. Annual property tax. It is about 1% of the value of the property. This tax is usually paid to the local municipality and is used to maintain infrastructure and provide municipal services. Tax on rental income. If you plan to rent out your property, you will also have to pay tax on rental income. With all these aspects in mind, buying real estate in North Cyprus requires careful planning and a professional approach. Buying a property in North Cyprus is an important decision that requires careful preparation and thought. Choosing the right property, vetting the developer and due diligence, inspecting the property and its documentation, registering the title, insurance and considering tax considerations are all steps that will help you make the purchase as safe and profitable as possible. If you have any questions or need help buying property in North Cyprus, you can always contact us.